All right, how you doing? Blender, one of the cool things about Blender is getting the text in there. And so you can do some really cool things with this. Obviously, this could be film titles, this could be for commercials, so many different things. And I know it seems easy to just go to add and mesh and, go to add and then text and then bring in the text. And then you press tab to edit it, and then you write a word. So this literally says the word. But by the time you convert it to a mesh, you can't bevel it. The geometry is all jacked. So let me show you a way to use Boolean to make it clean. Okay, so I've already done this one, and as you can see, that's the geometry for it. So let's do that for this word, festival. So this one's still editable, festival. And by the way, if you don't know, I was in object mode and I add and I go to text and then I can add the new text. That's how festival got here. Okay, if you don't like the font, you can go adjust it over here under the data. And so I picked this one, franchise. But what do we do now? Because it's editable. How do I get it into a mesh? Okay, so it's easy. I just right click, convert to mesh. Now when I go into edit, you see it's a mesh. It's got geometry. But that is very sloppy. That won't work for a lot of reasons. We need something cleaner. And this is how I figured out how I do it. So what I do is I press all, or A for select all, and then I make sure extrude the region is selected. And then I'm going to extrude it up about that high. And I'm basically going to use this thick extrusion to cut out of a plane. Okay, so let's go to edit mode. Let's get a plane. I'll just use this one. I'll duplicate it by pressing Shift D and then enter. I'll just call this like cutter because I'm going to cut out of it. And then I'll go to the materials and just say I don't want any material on it. And then if I raise it up, it'll be gray like this. So now my goal is to cut this out of this. All right, so let's do it. So I have my plane selected that I want cut. As you can see, my plane is selected. I'm going to go to modifiers and I'm going to go to generate and Boolean. Now, as you can see, I'm in Blender 4.5. So hopefully you're somewhere close to that. If you are, this will work. So I go to Boolean, and now I have to select what object I want to cut, which will be my Boolean. So I want this text, and as you can see, it's doing something. So let me select the text. I'll move it down a little. Let me go back to this plane, this cutter plane. Let's see what it's doing. So I'll select the festival word and I'll say, make it invisible. So what's happening here? I see that it's making it thick over here. It's like thin over here, and it's thin, well, everywhere else. But over here it's thick. Okay, let's select this plane and let's look at this Boolean. I want it to actually be just the intersection. All right. Now, you can see that there's different union, there's difference, and there's intersect. So I want intersect. Okay, so you can do hole tolerant. You can mess with these a little bit to see if your result comes out better. And I see that self-intersect gives me this. And this is what I want. So this is what I'm going for. Okay, so since I like that, and what I'm looking for is all the letters to be the same thickness, which is not thick at all, very thin. So this is what we want. So let's press Boolean and apply, meaning let's apply that effect to this Boolean. Now, that plane, I'll change it to just say festival so I don't get confused. Festival text. So now that plane is now my festival text. And I can hit right click and I'll set the origin to the geometry. So now I could move this around and move it up and down and stuff like that. So let's go to edit mode. I pressed tab. Now I'm in edit mode. Look at that geometry. Remember it was all whack, busy, and nasty? Now we only have like, just in the A, there's like a couple cuts, but why do I need to do this? Well, let me show you why. Now I can add cool effects. So let's go to extrude region and let's extrude this up. And now we can add effects, like I said. So let's go to object mode and let's go to add modifier and let's do a bevel. Okay. Oh, one thing we need to, for this modifier to act proper, is we need to go to apply and rotation and scale. It needs the scale, otherwise it doesn't know what to do. All right, so now we have our bevel on there, and it's very subtle, so we need to make it bigger. And now we can take this chrome material and apply it. So chrome, and as you can see, that bevel is on there. So let's just put it down like that, and now we have this cool looking text that's, you know, extruded. You can do anything to it. You can add any texture to it now, obviously, and do all kinds of the regular effects, because now you don't have to treat it as a font. It's regular Blender geometry that you can do all kinds of weird stuff to. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're struggling with text, this is one way to go about it.